Good Friday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Johnny Lively here to talk about what's going on in the weather world. Let's dive into our forecast sponsored by HB Neal Construction. Do Good Credit Union is showing us that it is still awfully chilly across the United States, actually cold across the United States. 6 degrees in Yellowstone National Park, 22 in Denver, Colorado, 43 in Oklahoma City. Here locally across the board, we're into the 40s and 30s, but you can see the further east that you go, look how cold it is. Pittsburgh at 16, Charlotte at 21, and Pensacola, Florida is colder than we are this morning at 35. Here we are locally, anywhere from the 40s, some in the 30s, and then down towards the coast into the 50s. But kind of giving you an example, along I-10, Houston at 49, Beaumont at 44, Lake Charles a little cooler at 38 degrees. But the further north that you go, Jasper at 44, DeRidder at 35. Temperatures kind of all over the place, but down towards the coast, you can see that the winds are already shifting back out of the south. Here comes the warmer air, giving us those 60s and low 70s later this afternoon, but we're already in to the middle to upper 50s along the coastline as those southern winds start coming in. Switch Electric is showing us the satellite and radar the past 6 hours. Not anything really going on here across the deep south. All of that kind of changes once we start getting into Saturday and Sunday. Snow is definitely possible for parts of the Deep South, just not here. We don't see the temperatures and the moisture overlapping at the same time, but looking right now on the satellite and radar, awfully quiet thanks to Switch Electric. And this tells us that it's going to be awfully quiet and a really good day today for construction outdoor forecast, sponsored by Modern Concrete Material. Clear skies really throughout the day. We might start seeing some clouds start coming into our region this afternoon into the evening, but majority of the region is going to have plenty of sunshine. But we will warm up into the upper 60s to low 70s. No rain in the forecast until mainly overnight tonight when that cold front starts moving into our region. And even then, the rain coverage is pretty low. This brings us to the rainfall outlook. Just 5 to 10% coverage really tonight as that front moves into our region, and then 10% coverage as we get into Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, and then a really good Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday is in store for us. Now, as we start getting into Wednesday and Thursday, middle of next week into the end of next week, that's when it looks like we have a pretty decent chance for some rainfall totals. Maybe 1 to 2 inches is possible. Pretty far to kind of go that far out just yet, but we do see definitely some rain potential moving in as we get into middle of next week. Here we are with the upper level flow chart sponsored by Neutron Electrical Services. Big story is the cold front that's going to be moving. We have a cold front tonight, another one Sunday into Monday, but this cold front tonight is going to bring in some chilly weather for us locally. Coldest morning is on Sunday, so that moves later on tonight. Really going to be a dry front. We might have some isolated showers, but majority of the region, this is going to be pretty dry. Now, as we get into Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, some lingering showers are possible here in our region, but watch how this sets up for parts of the deep south. We put this in motion. You can see some snow in parts of southern Alabama, getting into Georgia, and even Pensacola, Florida, and parts of the Florida Panhandle could see some snow coming up on Saturday night, getting into Sunday morning. All of that is further east of our area. The temperatures overlap and the moisture overlaps. That's where the snow chances are here. Now, as we get into Sunday evening, into Sunday night, notice another cold front comes in our region. That means that the chilly weather is definitely going to continue as we get into early next week as well, too. So a chilly weekend is expected for us, and as we get into early next week. Now, let's talk about today. We've got the clouds kind of along the coast. Might start seeing some clouds later on this afternoon, but still, we're going to have really good rounds of sunshine off and on today. Now, as we start getting into tonight, that's when that cold front moves in. We could have 5 to 10% coverage of some isolated showers. Shouldn't really disrupt, if anything, and then that front continues to move offshore. Colder air moves into our region throughout the day. On Saturday, we'll start off into the 40s on Saturday, and then we'll be stuck into the 50s. Now, off and on Saturday, 10% coverage of some isolated showers can be possible, and as we start getting into Saturday evening and Saturday night, that boundary or that cooler air or colder air starts coming in, and we start seeing everything start moving further to the south, and then any moisture starts moving off to the east. So the chance of snow is going to move eastward. We're just not going to overlap with the temperatures and the moisture. Chance for snow is going to be well east of our region if you're a snow lover. So that brings us into the tracking the snow. So we know that Friday brings that cold front, and then Saturday we will be pretty chilly throughout the day with some isolated showers. But as we get into Sunday, the moisture, the temperatures, all of that overlaps here in the deep south. Just not going to get much here in southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana. No luck on the snow this year. And then you can see pretty good snow chances coming up in southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and especially especially along the Florida Panhandle into parts of Georgia as well too. So pretty good little snowstorm coming up for parts of the deep south. Main story for us here in southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana is we have two cold fronts coming in, really kind of keeping us chilly this weekend into early next week. After today, we will be mostly stuck into the 50s and 60s, but we do see a warming trend as we get into the middle to the end of next week, back into the 60s, upper 60s by the time we get into Thursday, and a pretty good chance of rain Wednesday and Thursday. Here's the high temperatures today. I'm telling you, it's going to warm up pretty quickly into the upper 60s to low 70s, sponsored by Silsby Ford. Overnight tonight, you can see that the further to the north, that's when the cold front ushers in the colder air, so they'll be into the 30s, and then 40s and 50s the further south that you go. So it's still going to be a pretty cold night tonight as that cold front moves into our region. And then our 7-day forecast, or I'm sorry, I messed up again. Here we are after that front that moves through Friday. Chilly weekend is expected, but the biggest morning or the coldest morning that we will see is going to be on Sunday morning. Further to the north, we'll have that light freeze into the upper 20s. Further south, you get to the near freezing along I-10 from 31 to 32 degrees from Beaumont Orange to Lake Charles. A little warmer towards Houston at 35, but down towards the coast will be into the upper 30s to low 40s as well, too. So the coldest morning is on Sunday morning. Here's our 7-day forecast for southeast Texas. Some pretty breezy wind conditions today and tomorrow as that front moves in tonight, and then it's going to pass through tomorrow morning, but still breezy. Temperatures stuck into the 50s this weekend. Coldest morning is on Sunday, as we'll have near freezing along I-10, colder further to the north. And as we get into next week, it's still going to be cold on Monday and Tuesday, or chilly, I guess we could say. Pretty good rain coverage moves into the region, middle to end of next week on Wednesday and Thursday. And the same song and dance for southwest Louisiana. We've got a cold front moving in tonight, keeping the temperatures in the 50s coming up on Saturday and Sunday. There is a chance for some rain tonight and again on Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, but it's just 10 to 20% coverage, no big deal. If you're looking for some rain coverage, better rain coverage, that comes into Wednesday and Thursday. If you're going to chase some snow, definitely have to go further east. Not going to happen here. You need to go into really the deep south, into southern Alabama, into the Florida Panhandle and parts of Georgia and Alabama. Again, good time to go download the free Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app. Keeps you updated with what's going on not only here locally, but all across the United States. It's on the Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app is free. It's on the App Store, Google Play Store. Good time to go download it. Y'all have a good Friday. Thanks for joining us this Friday. I will see y'all again on Saturday morning. We will have a video update with Mr. Lucas Boswick later this evening. Wasn't able to do one last night because our system was down with AT&T, so who knows what's going to be down today. Verizon, AT&T, who knows. But as of right now, we will have more updates throughout the day, and we plan to have our next video update with Lucas later this evening. Y'all have a good Friday, and see you again on Saturday.